I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure you had a better weekend than I did.
What happened to you?
Well, I want to hear about yours, but first off, me and my girlfriend broke up, so that's number one.
What'd you do, motherfuckers?
It's a good question. Well, we were like she was here, like you met her a few weeks ago, and so we've been basically living together for 6-8 weeks, either at her place in Houston or my house up here. So she's not working right now, so we're together 24/7. And so I'd been at her house for 2.5 weeks in Houston, and so around her all the time, and it just became a lot. And so she was getting on my nerves, because we're opposite in a lot of ways. And so she was getting on my nerves. So I left. I got my stuff and I left in the middle of the night.
You didn't think maybe you getting on her damn nerves?
No, I know.
Living in her house?
That's why I left, because
why
she was.
do it so quick? You barely know each other.
I know. Well, in hindsight, but she was, because I said, look.
Paging Dr. Phil. Paging Dr. Phil.
I said, if I'm getting on your nerves, just let me know. Like I get on my own nerves. Just tell me to leave and I'm out. But she didn't do that. She was getting all like passive aggressive, which annoys me. And so, because I don't like that in my relationships, because my job is producer, actor. I don't have control of anything, and so I don't want to be guessing about my relationship every day. I need
she was getting passive aggressive.
Yeah,
you self-diagnosed her.
Yeah. Well, I played a doctor on television. I'm authorized. I'm authorized. And so,
how does that work in your love life? Don't worry, honey. I played a doctor on television.
It's good for a laugh, usually. And so I left in the middle of the night. I got my stuff and left. So she woke up the next morning, I was gone. And so, and that Saturday, there was 2 things that she was really looking forward to. She was looking forward to my daughter's birthday and meeting my family. And also she was looking forward to, I used to work at Channel 11, the CBS affiliate in Houston many years ago. And they had a 70th anniversary. So I was going to that, and she was looking forward to that, to go touring the studios, and it was a little party. And so that was the next day, so I didn't take her to either one of those. I didn't call her for 2 days.
You left in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
While she was sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, I was trying to be sweet.
What the fuck was the problem in the first place?
What
happened the night before when you woke up in the middle of the night? Or did you not go to bed?
I didn't go to sleep. I was just
Were you
annoyed.
drinking?
No, I was just, she was getting on my nerves, and I knew I was getting on her. So my thought was, I'm just gonna leave, because she had a big interview the next morning. I didn't want to keep her up or cause any drama. So I'm like, I'm just gonna slip out. I'm gonna take my stuff and just go, and then figure it out. And then I was just so agitated, I didn't call her for a couple of days, and she didn't like that. And so for now, we're done. So we'll see.
That's a big
yeah,
that's over.
Mistakes were made. But I apologized.
You have the finesse of a jackhammer, man. Why would you not call the girl and say, babe, I just needed a day, a break. You just didn't call her for them 3 days?
2 days. And then I texted her. We still haven't talked.
And what did that first text say? May I inquire?
Well, I tried to call her. She didn't answer. And I said, well, I tried to call you and you didn't pick up, so I guess I'm the asshole. That's what I started with. And then she said, I was immature. And, and she wasn't mean. She just said, hey, and she deleted me from her social media, which I thought was silly. And so I said, hey, that was a real power move if we were 12, like deleting me on her social media. And she said, well, given my behavior, she didn't see it moving forward. And so that's why. But we'll see. I don't, we'll see. See what happens. I don't know. But they always come back.
When's the last time you talked to her?
Talk? When I was at her house, but text a couple of days ago. Saturday evening when I got back in town.
So you haven't spoken to her and heard her voice since you left her home in the middle of the night? Mm-mm. Boy.
I was gonna.
You might as well move on to the next one. I like that one too. She was sweet.
I was gonna write a how-to book with women. Now I'm gonna have to buy one. To take a refresher course.
Was it called How to Shit Up?
Yeah. And then you know what happened coming in here today?
What?
This is how my day got off to a start. I ran over and killed a dog.
Today
on the way. I mean, look, these people that live in a rural
I'm
area.
not laughing about the poor dog.
No.
I'm a dog lover.
As you are.
How the hell
on
you?
my feet.
Yeah, Bernie's under there. Well, how the hell did you
First of
talk
all,
to the people?
No, I was going. First of all, if you live,
they have a child?
If you live on an interstate, or like whatever that road's called, people are going 75 miles an hour. If you live on that road and you let your dog run free,
highway.
you should be a highway.
Yeah.
You should be in jail because
Interstate.
well, not the interstate, but on 139, whatever that is.
That's a Farm Market Road 139.
So I was going 75 miles an hour, and a car was coming this way, and the dog ran right out. He was barking like he thought he was chasing a car, and he ran right. Like I had no choice. There was nothing I could do. I feel terrible. I love dogs too, and there was nothing I could do about it.
Was it a big dog?
It was a medium-sized dog.
Didn't mess your truck up?
I haven't looked. I looked in the rearview mirror, and it knocked him 15 feet in the air.
Did you go back and see if the dog was dead?
No, I couldn't. There was cars behind me.
You just cut him in half and kept on going.
Well, I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he lived. We don't know. We don't know.
Did the dog have a collar?
It was a split second. I didn't get a chance to take an inventory on what he was wearing and what he looked like.
You didn't want to go down the road and turn around and go back and check on him?
Well, I had a deadline. I was supposed to be here. What was I going to do? Take him to the vet? Bring him in here?
I hate killing dogs.
It ruined my whole day. I'm not, but I don't blame myself.
No,
Nothing I could do. I blame the people that let their dog run wild.
Maybe you blame the dog for just chasing the car.
Well, a lot of dogs.
The poor little bastard thing was going to happen when he caught one?
Well, a lot of dogs chase cars, but they know not to get too close. They just like to, they're experienced car chasers. But this dog won.
2 intersecting cars messed him up.
It hit him hard. 75 miles an hour. I'm sure he was dead on impact.
Have you haven't looked at your vehicle?
No. Yeah, I think it just hit the tire. So that's my weekend. I'm single, and I murdered an innocent animal. How was your weekend? I know it was better than mine. I already know what you did, but why don't you tell everybody?
So I got invited to go to the Dallas Cowboy game yesterday.
So you drove down to Dallas?
I thought I was going to drive to Dallas. And then my cousin, he calls and he says, "Hey, y'all can all ride with us." I'm thinking we're carpooling. He's like, "Nah, bro, we're going the jet." I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah." So, had time. It was about a 2-beer flight to Dallas.
How long does that take? Like 30 minutes?
Yeah, maybe 30 minutes. It's a big plane. It holds 17 people.
And this is Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin Bailey.
So y'all got on the private jet. That's a real Sunday fun day.
Yeah.
And you flew to Dallas. How many people were there?
Well, we carried Granny, so that's the important thing. And Granny's got a lot of littles. So we actually met Carmen and Ryan. They were already up there. And then when we got there, but Granny wants to go every year. And she asked it, to Dustin. She's like, "I just love this. We should come every year." So what's Dustin going to say? "No, Granny, we ain't going another damn game." Of course, this one was kind of unique. He got a box, which he has a high roller group. So they do a lot of business in the oil field and stuff like that. So I don't know if he has access to certain suites on certain games. And when they don't have clients or whatever, I guess. However it works. I don't get into it.
But he doesn't buy a box.
All I know is he said, "Can you get on the plane at 11:45? Hell yeah, I was there at 11:32.
So you were early for the jet, but you're late coming in here.
Yeah.
So tell us what's important.
Had a little high-rated heart rate this morning.
Oh.
We might have played too hard yesterday a little bit.
Well, imagine.
I have a regular heartbeat, so I don't never know what it's going to do.
So you get to Dallas and you sit in a suite.
Well, so this suite you go like the other ones that brother, you know me, I'm just along for the journey. All right, I'm just thankful God let me breathe today. And but we went down. So when we got there, we went like to the end zone. So we were like right in the corner, like if it was a perfect booth if you wanted to be a streaker. Like if you wanted to tear ass across the field, you had a perfect opportunity. Except there was this one big ass bodyguard standing there like this, But Dayton even told Dustin, he goes, how much you give me to streak across here? Well, first he came up to me and he goes, Dad, how much would it take for you to streak across here? And I said, enough to get me out of jail and pay my lawyer bills, which I'm sure would be significant.
I don't think so. I think it's a relatively minor. I think they put you at the stadium jail and then you're out. What did Dustin say? Did y'all actually ask him?
Dustin said he looked at Dayton and, Dayton was kind of joshing him and he said, hey, he goes, if it wasn't you, I'd almost pay $100,000 to watch it. And he's like, I can't let my nephew go do it. It was really funny. We took Granny. We had the whole, my brothers didn't get to go. Colt's working down in San Antonio and Clay's in San Antonio too. And they got two pretty young ones. I think they're 4 and 2.
Okay. So Granny likes going to the Cowboy game?
Oh, man. She's got a Roger Staubach jersey, autographed.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about it ain't never been washed.
That's like 40 years ago, Staubach.
She wears it on this one trip that Dustin takes her on every year. And it's autographed. And as a matter of fact, you can still see a little bit of the authenticity sticker that goes on where they verify it. Because she don't get it dirty. Mm-hmm. She don't eat nothing that's going to stain this. Because my grandfather apparently liked Roger Staubach. And so she's just kind of always in them. They got her that jersey a few years back. I don't remember who got it. Mom and Pam got it maybe or maybe Dustin got it. I don't remember exactly, but she's proud of that. And it's really cool to have. I mean, this is her jersey, but she don't have it in like no shadow box. This is the one she wears.
Yeah.
When she goes to the Cowboys. But I tell you what, she was a trooper. My granny's. How's Granny now? About 80?
87, I think.
87? But she made sure, even though we had to go down the steps and up the steps, there, she made sure she didn't miss a step, buddy. Because she has no way wants anybody to think she ain't ready to go to the next Cowboy.
Have you ever stopped and think, so you said she's 87, she's seen more change in her life than the 1,000 years before then. When she was a kid, think of it, there was no computers, no technology like that. Cars were new.
She had an outhouse.
No
electricity.
And think about the things that happened before, like in human history compared to the last 87 years. Think about what's changed. And if you think about how different life is now for, say, Gen Z, and people are always saying, oh, this generation is going to be the end of everything. Going back hundreds of years, everybody thinks the younger generation is just going to ruin it. Don't have any sense. But Gen Z, if you look at the environment that they live in compared to, even when you and I grew up, has Gen Z ever seen a sunrise? Have they ever slept under the stars? Have they ever cleaned and gutted a fish with their bare hands? Do they know how to? Have they ever done anything in nature? And think about, have they ever built a fire? And so those things, how much does that affect the algorithm of society and humanity? The things that the humans did and existed for thousands of years before us now ceases. They're in their house. They're streaming whatever. They're watching whatever. They don't leave their house. They're watching podcasts or on Twitch watching somebody play video games. And so think about the effect that has. Do you see kids playing outside anymore? I don't. I drive around and, I don't see kids riding their bicycles. I don't see them. All the basketball courts are empty. I don't see anybody out there exercising. So what do you think about that? Do you think that can have an effect on how we have evolved as humans? And is it a positive effect or negative effect?
It's a tough one. There's different, there's a different group.
Well, think about
it. Like certain groups of the Gen Zs are like, I saw a thing the other day on the TikTok. A guy took his son's Xbox and takes it out in the yard, literally. And he throws it in the swimming pool, he throws it down and runs over the lawn. I don't know, destroyed the kid's Xbox. And you would have thought this kid lost his damn mind, man. He fell down, was hitting the ground like he was a 2-year-old in a Walmart not getting his toy, you know. What happens if you can't relate? What happens if you don't have electricity? What happens if we got hit with an EMP?
Well, the flip side of that is they were videoing it and the dad did it for views. So the dad's complicit in it as well. Why did they video? Why did they throw it up to get more views? So even dads did on that game. But think about, like, I mean, your kids are not a great example because you're such a great dad. But do kids, you know, have they ever seen a sunrise? Sat there and watched the sun come up? Have they ever slept under the stars? Not your kids.
Well, we do that because sometimes we like to stay up till the sun comes up. You know?
Well, but in a general sense, you know, the young kids of today, how much time do they spend outdoors?
Well, let me say this. From a farm, I've had some cattle, right? But I've had people that were from the city or kids that are from the city. And when I say kids, I mean college-level kids that come out and they are like, oh, there's cows. I mean, it's like they're at a zoo. You know, and I feel sorry. I'm blessed to live in a beautiful country. You know, beautiful green trees, green grass. Everybody's somewhat friendly. But I feel sorry for those people that have to sit in single bedroom apartments and they can't. And the only exposure they really get to nature is to watch it, like you said, through some kind of social media or on television. But, you know, that to be able to walk outside and to feel the grass on your feet, you know, and see pretty blue sky without honking horns and sirens. I mean, when I go to New York City, dude, I got to sleep with earplugs in. I can't sleep with all that shit going on. I sleep good with crickets and rain on a tin roof. You like it too.
Well, I mean, yeah, I like that, but I also, when I lived in Los Angeles, I like the dichotomy between the two worlds. I split my time between Los Angeles and here and, you know, East Texas, very rural East Texas. And I loved the excitement and fast pace of Los Angeles. I slept with my window open because I loved hearing the sounds of the city. You know, I enjoyed it. I loved the fast pace of LA, but I loved coming home and the opposite, you know, the peace and quiet and tranquility of nature, living in the woods. So I enjoy both and appreciate both of those. But I just don't think the kids now have any desire. I mean, not all. I don't want to generalize a whole generation, but there's no doubt they spend way more time indoors than any other generation ever.
Yeah, but it's sort of we're going from the Flintstones to the Jetsons. Have you seen the new glasses that they've come out with that are AI glasses? I mean, they're the, I guess Apple.
Well, they tried those about 10 years ago and they failed.
Bro, these new ones, you can put it on and go in and say if you had a plumbing problem, it will start looking with you and diagnosing and telling you how to fix the damn plumbing problem.
Well, I need some of those.
Problem is, that ain't no good if Gen Z don't know how to grab that damn wrench. You can tell them, what you need to do is take that right there fitting off and put your little washer in there. Oh, hell no. They're over it then. So having the technology is one thing, but having it and letting it be applicable to you. I mean, I'm really excited about it for the pipeline stuff we do. You know, we cut big ditches and lay we usually facilitate pipelines for like the saltwater removal. So there's not so many trucks and stuff on the road. But they're saying within 5 years, they'll be able to put those on. And like instead of me having to do hard locates into the ground, it'll read you all the pipelines, like everywhere where there's a water line sewer that's underground, like in big cities. You put those on and pull up the schematics, and it'll pull those lines up where it's basically in your virtual reality as far as when you're locating or laying in new utilities or repairing them. And that's, in my field of work, that's huge. Because our biggest fear is hitting the gas line. Because if you do that, it's going to kill everybody old enough to die.
Which is everybody. How much do those glasses cost? Because I think I'd like to have some. I'm looking at Justin has some pulled up $400. And some are $1,500.
No, that's not the ones though. These are the Meta or Beta. They're the Facebook
Meta
guys.
Ray-Ban Meta glasses.
Yeah, they're Ray-Bans.
Yeah,
man.
how much are those?
His brother helped with that.
Because I will legit get some of those because I'm not the best fixer-upper. I have a guy that works in my house to fix toilets and things. So if I could get that, I'd be unstoppable.
They're like $329.
$329.
No, someone told me they were like $4,000.
Well, maybe they were. He's pulling up the Ray-Ban Meta Smart glasses now.
Ray-Ban Meta.
$299.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see what they do.
Well, look, people, you can
See, they got the camera. So, like, if you're doing or going anywhere, you can turn that camera on and film everything you're seeing, and nobody even knows it's on. And it can hear. It's got.
I'm
voice.
gonna have to get some of those. And hell
no, we'll be on camera all the time.
I'm gonna spy on you.
We have to put out some warning posters on your ass. Beware of Dale and his glasses.
I mean, if that can show me how to fix stuff, I'm unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean the commercial I saw, which may have been their promotional thing they did. I don't know what it was, Justin, but they were like showing a plumbing thing, and it's like, this is how you fix the problem. I mean, this is how you isolate it and fix it. I mean, some plumbing is kind of simple.
Well, man,
I think usually women hair.
I think your woman Danielle might want you to get some of those for a little how-to instructional video.
Then shake it up. Oh, man, no, man.
You know, she'd have you tune in.
But if it's a Latin lover, man.
You'd probably have, you'd have Pornhub playing in there.
There may be a lot of things in my glasses, but it will not be Pornhub.
I'm sorry, porn, whatever your variety is.
It's Meta Smart glasses, right? Meta Smart.
So, it seems like I was thinking about this over the weekend too. When I was a kid, Europe was very progressive. Like, oh, they do it in Europe. Like, when it comes to everything, they were just, when it came to drugs and sex, they were just more liberally open. They had topless beaches. And America was more uptight and conservative. But now I think it's flipped. I think America is really way more progressive than Europe is. I mean, I was just over there for 3 weeks. And I think America now is the most progressive country anywhere when it comes to porn, when it comes to society, when it comes to culture, when it comes to anything.
We've lost our way, yeah.
I mean, we used to be, God's country, or that's how our nation was built, one nation under God. But I really feel like America is now gone the other direction.
Yeah, I haven't spent much time in the UK, but I've been to Italy. It seemed to me that, I mean, dude, they didn't even sell snuff. I like.
Because nobody likes it.
No, they don't sell it. It's not there. Trust me, I looked. Hell, I got started smoking cigarettes over there. Hell, they didn't have nothing else but that. But everybody there smoked, but nobody had snuff. I don't know why, and I don't know why I went off topic with that. It's because this was painful for me. Okay, I don't know how to.
You have PTSD
I don't know how
from being
to do it
snuffless.
without snuff, man. First thing I want in the morning is dip a snuff. I want to dip a snuff.
You do realize that is a disgusting habit.
Yes.
And it's socially unacceptable.
Yes.
But yet you do it. Do you do it publicly?
I try to use a little. So sometimes I got these mints. Like if I got to go into the church or something. No, they're actually a new product. I don't even know. I lost them, but I think they're at the house. But anyway, it's like a little Altoid goes in. And then my son and them, even Tucker Carlson, they're using the Zens. They're not bad.
Well, back in the day, I used to dip Copenhagen, and I really enjoyed it. But I did it privately in my home. I never, because you spit, it's a revolting habit to have around other people, and so I would only do it at home. And then I moved out to Los Angeles, and I was freelancing in television news, and I was working at ABC, and I worked in the sports department, and everybody in Los Angeles in the glamorous world of television was Dip in Copenhagen. And we called that sports office a Spittoon Saloon because it was just loaded with spit cups everywhere. And so you think, and we all came from different backgrounds. Like one of the guys was from Hawaii. Another guy was from the East Coast, but they all did it and brought it with them. They didn't get there.
You're making me want to put a dip in
Well,
really bad.
Well, you can hold off.
It's a stimulant. See, nicotine is a stimulant, and people get in like situations where little Johnny's really pissing them off. Like, shut! I know how to fix that. You just pull that can out, and you put that little dip in it. A serene feeling comes on you. It's to me, it's a calming agent. Now I don't understand people say, "Oh, I get dizzy and spun around and hyper." I don't. I wouldn't dare sight in a rifle.
Well, I heard
without a dip.
I heard our Texas boy Matt McConaughey describe it one time because I guess he dips. He said, "When you have a dip in, it makes everything cool just a little bit cooler."
It's true.
I don't know what that means, but that's what he said. So going back to the progressive U.S. versus Europe. So of course, Amsterdam is known for the red light district and selling weed and drugs being legal. And so I always thought Amsterdam must just be this wild and crazy place. And I finally went there over the summer, and it's clean. It's probably my favorite city in Europe. I mean, I don't do drugs at all, and I expected it to be drug addicts everywhere like we see in the cities here in the United States. Sure. But the locals aren't doing drugs, and they're not even driving cars. Everybody's riding their bikes. Everybody's healthy. There's no obesity over there at all because people are actually active. They walk places.
Sure.
The streets are full. In the red light district, I mean, that was, of course, now they have a blue district, which is for the trans community. So that was surprising. But
Can't you do everything in Las Vegas now that you can do in Amsterdam? And bigger.
I don't know that prostitution is legal. I know it is.
Absolutely.
No, outside of Vegas it is, where you get into the Bunny Ranch. I don't think in the city of Las Vegas it's legal.
Well, I've been there a few times, and I don't engage in that kind of thing, but I've seen it happen.
Did you need to do one of those?
No, that's all in the casino. They'll come up to you. And
Yeah,
be like,
but it's
"Hey,
not
you
legal."
want-"
Because
Well, it's not enforced either.
well, the first time I went to Vegas, I lived in Los Angeles and we went for the weekend. And I was sitting at the bar having a drink, and these two beautiful college age girls came over, and I thought, man, I must be looking good because they were just all flirty. I was like, man, like I got it going on, like that, And then I figured it out pretty quickly when they wanted to come back to my room, and they were on the phone with who I presume was their pimp, letting them know. And I'm like, hold on a second, like.
How do you get that job?
Being a pimp?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
These girls will do anything that dude says.
I know.
I mean, but now it's even worse. It's not like, oh, I got a pimp and he handles the business. Now you got these sex traffickers, and these poor girls are just slaves. And they know everywhere they are. Their phones are all mic'd. I mean, they're not free, brother. They're not. And that's sad to me. Because I didn't notice it as much until I have a 21-year-old daughter, right? And I was at that Dallas Cowboys game yesterday, and the cheerleaders out there, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, I remember a time where this was like the highlight, of a man's thing. Oh, we get to see the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and I'm looking at them like, and these girls are about my daughter's age, just trying to make it. A lot of them are trying to go.
But
No. But your perspective changes
Yeah.
as you get older, and not that they're not all beautiful and sexy and all those things, but just as you get older and your children become, manifest as older beings and getting ready to consider childhood, and you've already got to be a grandfather. Mm-hmm. But I mean, your perspective on things change.
well, on the flip side, because I was married throughout most of my 20s, and when something happened when I turned like 35 to 37, 38, like college girls went from being hot, beautiful women to kids. Like it's like somewhere in the mid to late 30s, it flipped. And they started, I don't know what changed. I mean, it's a good thing, but now college girls look like children to me, and
Well, they are.
well, they're legal. They're not high school girls.
Just
And
because the deer's legal don't mean you ought to shoot it.
well, no, I'm not advocating for it, but you mentioned sex trafficking. Like I've always wondered because I hear about how prominent it's become, and where do they get? Do they steal the women?
I get them on the needle, brother. Once you go to the needle,
What you mean, like coke, crack, heroin?
shooting heroin, yeah.
And
Once you get them on the that's what they do. They get them on the needle, and then I've looked into this because it's something I'm passionate about. But addiction, brother, I myself as a person who struggled with various addictions and alcoholism, you know, but addiction, when you go to that needle, you went to a whole nother level, and it takes them some place of escape.
Are these runaway girls, or are they kidnapping women and injecting them themselves? Like I'm completely ignorant to.
They say in about 3 days they can have them fiending.
But are these girls that
They'll
are
do anything for their next shot. So they'll go do the work, come back, and basically they get paid in drugs.
But are these girls stolen, or are they
Yes.
runaways?
Yes.
So
They're anything they can net, man. They want the women, and they start them out. Apparently, they start them out. You don't just go in and say, "Hey, come here, bitch," with a needle. No, you start them out. You wine them and dine them, and then you start slipping it to them, and within a few days, they go from whatever they were to
addicts.
They're dependent on that next shot. They'll do anything for it. I mean, it's a different. Dude, drug addiction is so hard because it kicks in that thing in your brain that's the same as your survival.
pleasure center.
No, and your survival, like your survival rate. When somebody needs a drink that's an alcoholic, he just went from fight to flight. I mean, he's looking for some kind of way in his brain. Even he is fooling himself. I have fooled myself into getting drunk. Any alcoholic can talk themselves into getting drunk at any time. They can talk themselves into how they can have that first drink.
Mm-hmm.
So and when you get into I feel like, you know, there's a lot of people that drink too much. Okay, you know, they drink more than they should. They drink more than the doctor says they should. I do. You know, I drink more than the doctor says I should. You probably do. I mean, they're like, we have 2 beers a week. Who the hell has 2 beers? Shit, I had 2 beers
For breakfast.
Yeah, no, breakfast beer. It's got barley, hops. No.
Well, you know, I knew this guy, like a known actor in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You've seen him. And he's fit. He plays like a leading man type. Very fit. And he's, you know, probably late 40s. And he drinks vodka all day long. Like probably a fifth a day. Now tell me how you can be drunk on vodka and still go to the gym and push yourself enough to look like that. How do you? Because I could never. If I drink vodka, like I'm out for, like I'm not right for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, but everybody that I know that I've been, and I went to, you know, get counseling and stuff with, you know, rehab or something to get off alcohol and to get all the 12 steps and all that. But almost all the major alcoholics, when they get to that point in life where they're freaking functioning alcoholics, they're drinking vodka. And the reason they're drinking vodka first is to know how much smell.
Right.
Okay. And, you know, you can mix it with so many different things. And it's clear.
Anything.
Yeah. So it's the go-to. But almost everyone I talk to that get to the end, it's not even mixing it anymore. I got a bottle of vodka in my desk. Or I put a whole bottle of vodka, like a water bottle, and you bring that in and you just drink vodka all day. I mean,
but how can
because your body develops tolerance for it, so you need more of it. A beer won't do you to feel a buzz. Hell, you need to drink a 12-pack.
Well, I asked him, you know, why he continues to do that, and he said that he was afraid that he wouldn't be a good actor without it because he's so used to it.
Yeah.
And so he felt like that, you know, maybe if he was sober, he wouldn't be able to do his job properly. But I can't, like literally with this coffee, he's starting off every day with vodka. and you would never know about looking at him. You think drinking that much would take its toll on your appearance? I don't know how he does it because he looks great.
Yeah. That is what you're used to.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he's been doing it for 20 years. But that's crazy.
Well, I mean, but back to the sex trafficking thing. They get these girls on these drugs. They'll do anything, brother. Anything that pimp tells them to do, it's really sad. And what's terrifying to me is these young kids, being taken at 12 and 13. And then even the ones that are now saying these children, the sex trafficking of these children. What kind of sick bastard, man, wants to violate the chastity of a child, male and female? What is going through that individual's fucking mind when he says, I'm going to go in there and have my way with a 3-year-old? That bastard needs to be hung, brother.
Well,
He's
sure.
sick in his mind. And he don't need, listen, he don't need mental help. He needs hung. Because you don't touch and violate the chastity of a child, man. Every human that knows and has surrendered their spirit unto God knows that you're supposed to protect children.
It's a mental health issue.
That's the whole fucking thing with this Hamas thing.
It's a mental health issue. Why are so many beautiful teachers sleeping with their 14-year-old students? The female teachers sleeping. You hear about it almost daily
I don't
now.
know how horny a 15-year-old student
I
is.
understand why he's doing it.
Well, shit.
But why is a woman? Because I feel like I have.
Have you seen the Pete Davidson skit?
No.
He got molested by his teacher, 2 of them. And he's like telling the story of what happened to him. It's an SNL skit. Funny. You need to check it out sometime. But it made me think about it.
Well, I had a teacher in high school, and we, so I feel like she was, because we had a get together at her house with all the other, some other classmates, and they went home. Her husband was out of town, and so they had a yacht parked in their backyard. He said, "Hey, want to come see the yacht?" This was like 11, 12 o'clock at night. So we go sit in the yacht, parked in the driveway, and she opens a bottle of wine.
You and your teacher.
Me and my teacher.
Yeah.
And she wasn't somebody I was interested in, but I felt like that vibe definitely was, and I wasn't interested in doing anything. And I'm not certain she was, but opening a bottle of wine at midnight with your student caught me off guard. But what is happening? Because I think they call it a Madonna complex. And it's probably considered sexist now, but I was always, I would put women on the pedestal. I would hold them in high esteem. But, I would feel like they're more moral than men, and they carry themselves with more class. And I've continually been proved wrong, by having that assumption. And so when I hear about sex trafficking and things like it's like I can't even really process it. And another friend of mine who's a known actor, leading man, done probably 50 movies. And so we were out to dinner one time, and I asked him how many of his leading ladies opposite of him has he slept with. He goes, almost all of them. I was like, are you kidding? Which one? He goes, just go look at my IMDb. Just go down the list. Almost all of them. I said, even the married ones? He said, especially the married ones. And I said, I can't believe that happens. And he looked at me and said, I can't believe you think it doesn't happen. And it just caught me off guard because I just, I see how it happens. I've done a ton of movies, and you're on location, you're isolated, you're with them all the time. I see how it can happen. But I guess I just felt like women were better than that. Is that a sexist statement to say?
No. I don't think, but
well,
you're asking the wrong redneck over